Okay, let's jump right into this explainer. We are looking at a massive tectonic shift in how software gets built right now. I'm talking about that explosive, honestly kind of unbelievable speed of taking a raw idea straight from your head and bam, turning it into a fully functional, clickable prototype. It's this adrenaline-fueled leap that is literally rewriting the rules of development. And the financial weight behind this shift, it is absolutely staggering.
Let's put a number on that. $4.7 billion. That's billion with a B. By early 2026, that is the projected annualized spend just on this specific new coding trend. And we're seeing adoption spread like wildfire across the vast majority of developers. This isn't some fringe weekend experiment anymore. This is exactly where the industry is pouring its capital. But what exactly is commanding this massive mountain of money?
Well, that brings us to Section 1, the Vibe Coding Revolution.
So, vibe coding. It basically just means describing what you want in plain, everyday language and then letting these incredibly powerful AI tools actually generate the application for you. We're talking about utilizing platforms like V0, Lovable, Cursor, and Replit Agent. It's kind of like giving instructions to an incredibly fast, highly literal intern who literally never sleeps. These tools have effectively collapsed the cost of getting a working prototype off the ground to, well, near zero. You really don't need a massive engineering team to get that first draft going anymore. Because of this, the whole timeline has just shrunk dramatically. Picture this. You get a spark of an idea on a Friday night. Instead of spending the next 3 months wireframing, hiring, coding, you just sit down with these AI tools. And by Sunday evening, you've got an entirely functional, clickable demo in your hands. You can totally feel the rush of that, right? You're breathing life into your ideas almost as fast as you can actually speak them out loud. It is an intoxicating level of creative power. But, what actually happens on Monday morning?
That brings us to part 2, the prototype illusion.
See, a vibe-coded prototype is perfectly optimized to look like it works flawlessly. But, and this is a big but, it really only works on the happy path. The happy path is that exact, highly specific sequence of events you literally just described in your prompt. Everything goes perfectly right. But production, the real world, that is everything else. Production is the chaotic, highly unpredictable set of every single path you did not describe to the AI.
Let's just look at the harsh realities that absolutely crush these weekend prototypes out in the wild. Real users encounter empty states, like what does the app even look like before any data is entered? Real users provide bad inputs. They'll type letters into a phone number field or, try to upload a 50-page PDF when you just asked for a simple profile picture. Real products face abuse, they face the massive pressure of scale, and they run headfirst into bizarre edge cases that the AI was simply never told to even think about. If you skip this layer, you're going to end up shipping a demo that might impress an investor for exactly 10 minutes, but it's going to inevitably collapse the absolute second it hits its first 10 real users.
So, bridging this massive gap from a flashy weekend demo to a robust real-world product, it actually isn't about sitting down and just writing more code. It is about intent. The gap is made up of absolutely everything your initial plain language prompt left out. It's the unsaid rules, the boundaries, the invisible architecture of human behavior.
Which leads us to Section 3, Mastering Product Discipline.
I really want you to let this next thought sink in because it is basically the defining mantra of modern development right now. Vibe coding answers the question, can we build it? And thanks to AI, the answer is almost always yes, and incredibly fast. But product work, the actual discipline behind the code, answers a much more crucial set of questions. Should we build it? Who exactly are we building this for? And most importantly, how will we actually know if it worked? Product discipline demands absolute clarity. You have to know which requirements are entirely non-negotiable for the user, and which features are just, fun little decorative distractions.
The fastest builders in the world, they actually slow down just enough to capture this intent. They put together a short PRD, a product requirements document. And hey, a PRD doesn't need to be some massive, dense textbook. It really just needs 4 main pillars. What is the exact problem? Who is the specific user? What is the undeniable success metric? And what are the critical edge cases? Having this really short, structured document allows you to harden your weekend prototype without having to tear the whole thing down and rebuild it from scratch. Plus, it's the exact documentation an investor, or say your first lead engineer, is going to need to actually take your project seriously.
Now you might be wondering, doesn't sitting down to write documents kind of defeat the whole purpose of lightning-fast vibe coding? Well, not anymore. Slowing down to focus on discipline absolutely doesn't mean stopping. Because just as AI accelerates the code itself, it also accelerates the structure. Tools like Specky can actually generate this vital PRD structure directly from your raw idea in just a matter of minutes. This ensures that your product documentation is keeping perfect pace with how incredibly fast you're building.
All right, moving into Section 4, winning in 2026.
Ultimately, the true gift of a vibe-coded prototype isn't that it's a finished, polished product. Its true gift is the sheer speed of learning. The winning strategy here is to take that incredibly fast prototype, put it directly in front of your target segment, and just watch what breaks. Capture the actual evidence of their experience. You have to harden your product based on what your real users actually struggle with, not just on what was the most fun for you to prompt the AI to build.
So as we look at the landscape heading into 2026, the ultimate winners are absolutely not going to be the people who can just vibe code the fastest. Honestly, raw speed is basically a commodity now. The real winners, the ones building actual lasting value, are the builders who perfectly pair that rapid, AI-driven speed with rigorous, uncompromising product discipline.
You gotta remember this. Build fast, then make it real. Use the absolute magic of AI to get your idea out of your head and onto a screen instantly. But then, apply the discipline required to turn that happy path illusion into a durable, real-world reality. I want to leave you with a direct challenge to think about. The next time you sit down to prompt an AI to build something over the weekend, ask yourself this. Are you just building a 10-minute demo that's going to collapse under pressure? Or are you actually laying the real groundwork for a fundable product? The tools give you the speed for sure, but the discipline, that is what gives you the success. Keep learning, keep building, and thank you so much for joining me for this explainer.